All right, in this lesson we're going to be looking at population parameters and sample statistics. Population is the entire group that is going to be studied. A census is the process of gathering the data from an entire population. And the parameter, it's a numerical data. It's the numerical data that's gathered from an entire population. And most, if not most circumstances, it's difficult to collect data from the entire population. So it makes more sense, it's more possible to gather that information from a smaller sample that is hopefully representative of the entire population. A sample is a portion of the population used to make inferences about the population. And a survey is a process of gathering the data from a sample. In this example, we're told that the average hours of sleep per night of parents of toddlers, that's what we're looking at, this was being studied, whereas the entire population would be all parents of toddlers. And this would be a survey because we're just looking at, it's not possible to get data from every parent that exists. We're looking at the average height of students in this class. Then the population would be all the students in the class. Since it is very manageable to get data or get the height of every student in the class, there's only 30 plus students, this would be a census. That would be the entire population of individuals. We were looking at the weight of a rope, the weight that a rope can support. That would be all ropes. And again, since we cannot determine the weight that all ropes can support, too many to count, we would have to then take a sample of the ropes, and that would be a survey. All right, in this example, we're looking at what's being studied is I want to know the average number of overtime hours worked by all U.S. workers. I'm going to randomly choose 50 people, and I found that the average hours worked is 45 minutes. The population we're looking at is all U.S. employees. The parameter would be the average overtime that's worked by all U.S. workers. The sample would be the 50 people that I randomly chose, and the statistic would be 45 minutes, the average time for that sample. And in this next example, we're looking at the age of Etiwanda High School students. EHS students got their first cell phone. The age that Etiwanda students got their first cell phone. Students in my second period were asked, and most said that they were 14 whenever they got their first cell phone. Population would be all Etiwanda students, and the parameter would be the age when all Etiwanda students got their cell phone. The sample would be the students in my second period, and the statistic would be 14, since most of them said that they were 14 when they got their first phone. Additionally, we should understand the different types of data. There's categorical data, which is qualitative. Those are things like words, labels, and names. So car colors would be an example of categorical data, same as your favorite music group. And although jersey numbers are numbers, they're not, they don't have value. They're just used for identification, so they would be considered categorical data also. And on the flip side, we've got quantitative data, which is numerical data. And we have two types of numerical data. We've got discrete and continuous. Discrete are basically things that exist in whole numbers, like shoe sizes, ages, numbers, number of students in a class. Continuous numerical data are usually like measurements, things where you can have fractions of fractions, like heights, inches of rain, temperature. Those are all measurements and examples of continuous data, continuous numerical data.